Tom here at Maccabees. I'm going to talk to you guys, everybody, beekeepers, about how I set up my stand and how I overwinter with the stand that stays around all year round. And I basically copy how a tree's set up. So bees, traditionally were in trees, and if you think about it, the bottom part of the hive is the trunk of the tree or the log of the tree, and it's got R infinity basically, and then the top is the same way. The sides of the tree is, by scientists saying, it's around R7. I think it's about R5 to R5 to R10 depending on the species of the tree. So I try to simulate the bottom as much as the top with the R value. So what I did here was build my Allen block on a block that's gravel. I've got to add a little bit more gravel that's connected to the ground. Then I have a 1-inch high density board, which is R6, and I got a 1/2-inch high density board, which is R3.2. So that's how I do my stand all the way down. Also, in the section here, I'll get a little bit better view. And this, I got it painted white on this board. On top of the Allen block that's full of gravel, I have two 4x6 cedar boards, which is, I believe, is like another R8 or something, R6 to 8, R7 we'll say. So I have whatever the R value is being connected to the ground, and I know from Mother Nature or life that the ground never goes below freezing, or the frost here is 17 inches, 18 inches, but the center part of it never gets really that cold. So I'm thinking I'm R20 plus on the bottom, maybe R30. So that's how I do it. Then on the bottom board, I actually take another R6 board, and this one I got nailed to the bottom. Sometimes I glue them to the bottom, and that's my bottom board. Now, to set up the top, I'll show you here. I actually go, kind of windy today, I have a shim in here that's like 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches. It all depends on how thick I put sugar bricks in here that are 1.25 inches, so I got about 1.5 inch shims, and I let them glue it down. I put these on yesterday. They're already glued down. You can see it's got a pretty good hive here. And then I have a high density board, R6. I paint one side. You can use paint or you can use tape. I do that so they don't chew on it. And I put that down. Then, if you go over here, I have two of them. So that gives me R12. The double bubble wrap is my inner cover. I just stick it on top. I think that gives me another R2 to 3. So I pretty much have about R15. I'd say 15 to 16. And then I got my lid. So now I got it all stacked back together. The best part about this is if you buy a shim from the store, it's actually got a lid on it with a hole cut center, 3-inch or 1.5 inch hole center cut in the center of it. So when you go to put sugar or mountain camp in there, you got to take the whole shim off the box, the double box here. What's really nice about this, I'll try to do this, I can just take the lid off. I haven't opened up the hive yet. I can take my two insulation boards. I can lift it up that much. I can slide my brick in. I do sugar bricks, or if you do mountain camp, you can pour some honey in there. I close it right back up. I can wait till about Thanksgiving time before I have to close them up completely for the winter. Actually last year we had 50+ degree days in January. I probably won't wait that long. I'll go to Christmas if it looks like we're still getting 55 degree sunny days in the afternoon. That's when I'll add the sugar bricks, because I don't want them eating that sugar pre that time. I want them to use the resources that are in the hive. And basically the sugar bricks or the mountain camp method is for the February to mid-March time frame. Our first trees bloom right around the last days of February to the first few days of March, and that's the silver maple trees. So the month before your first blooms in your area is probably the most critical, and I put those sugar bricks in mostly for that time frame. I gotta put this lid back on before I lose them. So that's how I do my setup on all my hives. Traditionally, I run singles. This is I haven't ran doubles probably in 7 years, 6 to 7 years. And I'll put a double screen board in right here in the center between the two boxes, and I put a shim here, just like I do the same setup here with a shim. So I can put a sugar brick in this box and put a sugar brick on that box. This box I'll do a little earlier because I got to break this seal for the double screen board to get the sugar brick in there. And I'll have two queens, the older queen from that year, and then a new summer solstice queen in the top box. And if they both make it, then I can make a split off of it. But this year I decided not to do that because I got plenty of nuke boxes around the back side of my barn and that horizontal hive. So that's my setup. I hope I explained it well enough. So I have like R20 plus to 30 on the bottom and around R14 to 15 on the top. So what I didn't explain, the whole principle of this is what they call a condensation hive. The hive. The coldest part of this box will not be the bottom and will not be the top. The coldest part is going to be the top part of this box up in here and on the sides. So all the condensation will not build on the lid. It actually will build on the sides of the box because that's only R.94, R1. So that's the coldest of the area of the boxes. So all the condensation form on the inside sides will be on the sides of the box and run down to the bottom board, not on top dripping down on the bees. This allows me to seal the boxes up on top with the insulation, so I don't have to worry about venting. I don't have to let all their hot air work keeping their box warm out. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to do that, to vent on top. Second is, there's studies out, and I've known this for at least 5 years, that top of that box now being sealed will be high levels of CO2 from the bees. And by the deep part of winter, when it's really cold, those bees were actually, I wouldn't call it hibernation, but their metabolism goes down really, really slow because of the CO2. Kind of like anesthesia on you. And the bees don't eat anything, or eat very, very little, only on the days where it warms up. So that's another benefit, that you don't need to put 50, 100 pounds of honey on top of your bees. You don't need you only need I probably have 20 or 30 pounds of honey inside on some of the frames. It's just a lot better way of doing it. And this is the way they used to do it 150, 200 years ago. I don't know why we left the true and proven method.